FBI's secret war, the COINTELPRO story. What if I told you that your own government was watching you, breaking into your home and trying to destroy your life, just because you believed in something different? Well, that's exactly what happened to thousands of Americans in the 1960s and 70s. In this video, I'm going to reveal the FBI's most evil secret program called COINTELPRO, a dark chapter in American history that most people have never heard about. You're going to discover three shocking things. First, how the FBI spied on regular people like teachers, students, and civil rights leaders. Second, what dirty tricks they used to ruin people's lives. And third, how a group of brave people broke into an FBI office and exposed this whole evil plan to the world. 99% of Americans don't know about this scary program that lasted 15 years. So in this video, I'll walk you through the most frightening government secrets ever revealed. But first, let me show you proof that this really happened. Because what you're about to hear sounds like something from a horror movie. Everything I'm about to tell you is backed up by official government papers that were stolen and given to newspapers. This isn't some wild theory. This is documented history that will change how you think about your government forever. Point 1. The birth of America's secret police. Picture this. It's 1956, and America is scared. The Cold War is raging, and everyone is worried about Russian spies. But what if the real danger wasn't coming from outside America? What if it was growing inside the FBI itself? That year, a man named J. Edgar Hoover made a choice that would haunt America for decades. Hoover was the head of the FBI, and he had more power than almost anyone in the government. He looked at groups of Americans who wanted change, like people fighting for civil rights or protesting war, and he decided they were enemies. So Hoover created something called COINTELPRO. The name stands for Counterintelligence Program, but it was really a war against American citizens. At first, they said it was just to watch communist groups, but like a monster that grows bigger and hungrier, COINTELPRO soon turned its evil eyes on anyone who dared to speak up against the government. The scary truth? COINTELPRO started as a program to protect America, but it became a program that attacked the very freedoms America was supposed to stand for. Point 2. The FBI's bag of dirty tricks. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so they watched people. That doesn't sound too bad. But what the FBI actually did was so much worse than just watching. Let me tell you about Sarah, a college student in 1968. She joined a group that wanted to stop the Vietnam War. One day, her boyfriend suddenly broke up with her. Her friends stopped talking to her. Her parents got mysterious letters saying she was a dangerous person. Her grades started failing because someone kept breaking into her locker and stealing her homework. Sarah didn't know it, but the FBI was destroying her life, piece by piece. This wasn't an accident, it was a plan. The FBI had a whole list of dirty tricks they called disruption tactics. They would send fake letters to break up friendships and marriages, spread lies about people to get them fired from jobs, break into homes and offices to steal papers and plant listening devices, get people arrested on fake charges. Even worse, some people think the FBI helped kill civil rights leaders. The FBI agents who did this weren't trying to catch real criminals. They were trying to stop Americans from using their right to free speech. They wanted to scare people so much that they would stop protesting and just stay quiet. The most terrifying part? The FBI kept detailed files on over 1 million Americans, treating regular citizens like enemies of the state. Point 3. When the government spies on heroes. Here's where this story gets really dark. The FBI didn't just go after random protesters. They went after some of the most important heroes in American history. Think about Martin Luther King Jr., the man who had a dream of equality for all people. While Dr. King was giving speeches about peace and love, FBI agents were following him everywhere. They bugged his hotel rooms. They recorded his phone calls. They sent him letters trying to make him kill himself. Yes, you heard that right. The FBI tried to drive one of America's greatest heroes to suicide. But it wasn't just Dr. King. The FBI also targeted Malcolm X, another civil rights leader, the Black Panthers, a group that fed hungry children and fought for equal rights. Anti-war protesters who didn't want American soldiers to die in Vietnam. Native American activists fighting for their land. Even some members of the Ku Klux Klan, though they were much gentler with them. The FBI spent years trying to turn these groups against each other. They would send fake letters from one group to another trying to start fights. They wanted Americans to hate and fear each other instead of working together for change. The horrible truth is that while these heroes were fighting for justice, their own government was fighting against them in secret. Point 4. The burglary that changed everything. But here's where our story takes an amazing turn. Sometimes it takes regular people doing something brave to stop evil from winning. On March 8, 1971, something incredible happened. While most of America was watching the big boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, a group of 8 regular citizens was planning something that would shake the government to its core. These weren't professional spies or secret agents. They were ordinary people, a taxi driver, a daycare worker, and some college professors. But they had noticed that people in their community were being watched and harassed by the FBI, and they wanted to know why. So they did something that sounds like it's from a movie. They broke into an FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania. They didn't have fancy gadgets or special training. They just had lockpicks, flashlights, and incredible courage. That night, while security was distracted by the big fight on TV, they snuck into the FBI building. They found filing cabinets full of secret documents, papers that revealed the truth about COINTELPRO. They took over 1,000 classified files and then did something even braver. They mailed copies to newspapers across the country. These 8 everyday heroes risked going to prison for life to expose the truth about what their government was doing to innocent Americans. Point 5. The moment evil was exposed to light. Picture the scene. Newspaper editors across America opening their mail and finding stacks of FBI documents marked top secret. At first, they couldn't believe what they were reading. The stolen papers revealed everything. They showed how the FBI was spying on civil rights groups. They proved that agents were breaking into people's homes. They revealed the fake letters, the planted evidence, and all the dirty tricks. For the first time, Americans learned about COINTELPRO. The word itself appeared in these secret documents, and suddenly everyone wanted to know. What was this mysterious program doing to American citizens? The reaction was explosive. Newspapers published the documents. Congress demanded answers. Citizens marched in protests. Even some FBI agents quit their jobs because they were ashamed of what their agency had been doing. J. Edgar Hoover, the man who created this monster, panicked. He immediately shut down all official COINTELPRO operations in 1971. But the damage was done. Americans had learned that their government could be just as scary as any foreign enemy. The truth was finally out. For 15 years, the FBI had been waging a secret war against American democracy itself. Point 6. The price of speaking truth. Now, you might think that exposing COINTELPRO was the end of the story, but the aftermath was just as dramatic as the discovery. The 8 people who broke into the FBI office became the most wanted fugitives in America. The FBI launched a massive hunt for them, interviewing over 200 suspects. But these brave citizens had planned perfectly. They stayed hidden for over 40 years. Meanwhile, the government had to face the music. Congress held hearings that revealed even more horrible details about COINTELPRO. They learned that the FBI had violated the constitutional rights of over 1 million Americans, spent millions of taxpayer dollars attacking citizens instead of catching real criminals, created a culture of fear that stopped people from speaking up about injustice. Many of the people whose lives were destroyed by COINTELPRO never fully recovered. Activists lost their jobs, their families, and their health. Some were sent to prison on fake charges. Others lived in fear for decades, never knowing if the government was still watching them. The saddest part is that many real problems in America, poverty, racism, war, could have been solved faster if the government had listened to protesters instead of trying to destroy them. Point 7. Lessons from the shadows. Here's what makes this story so important today. COINTELPRO officially ended in 1971, but the questions it raises are still with us. How do we know if our government is spying on us right now? What happens when people in power decide that citizens asking for change are dangerous? How can ordinary people fight back when their own government turns against them? The heroes of this story, both the activists who were targeted and the citizens who exposed the truth, teach us something vital. They show us that democracy isn't something that just exists. It's something we have to protect every single day. Even today, we have new technology that makes spying easier than ever. Our phones, computers, and social media can be watched by people in power. The methods have changed, but the risk is still there. The most important lesson from COINTELPRO is this: when good people stay silent, bad people can do terrible things in secret. So there you have it, the shocking true story of how the FBI waged a secret war against American citizens for 15 years. From J. Edgar Hoover's paranoid dreams to the brave burglars who exposed the truth, this is a story that every American should know.